Hello, everyone. Sorry about the confusion earlier. Google Hangouts. For some reason, it set it up to start in like 8 hours instead of right now. So hopefully people can see us now. Double check the website real quick. Yep. All right.
Hello, everyone.
Whoa. All right. So this is our roundtable session. There's not really a topic for this unless somebody brings one up. We just do these at the start of each day usually to kind of give an overview of what's going on in this track. Usually it would be David Planella running this, but he's actually giving a presentation to a local college today, so he wasn't able to join us. He should be back tomorrow, maybe later today, I'm not sure. Hello, Alan.
Hello.
All right, so let's see, what is on the community track today? So here's the link I just posted in IRC to the actual track page where we can see the whole schedule. So it looks like later today we've got user documentation for Unity 8. With the big push to moving towards Unity 8 and convergence, we need new documentation for end users. So we're going to be talking about the work that needs to be done on that and hopefully some improvements that we can make to the documentation process to make it easier to maintain going forward. We've got the community team Q&A later today also at 1800 UTC.
You know who's doing that? I've just marked myself as attending because I assume someone needs to. So
yeah, yeah. I don't know. Again, I don't know if David's going to be back for that or not.
Okay, you did last week, I think. So and I did the week before. So I'm happy.
Oh, is that our regularly scheduled Q&A?
It's around about that time. Yeah.
Okay.
And it's on a Tuesday, and today is Tuesday. Contrary to my body clock, it is Tuesday.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's going to make it because I know we're all spread out on different tracks this week.
Right, I don't think I have anything clashing with that. So, there's the help app. Oh, crap. Okay, well, let's see if DPM's around, and we can juggle. Cool.
All right, so that's all that's going on today. We've got some empty slots today, then, I guess. If anybody has something that they want to run. Let's see.
So typically these roundtable sessions, it's discuss anything you like sessions, aren't they?
They usually are, yeah. If anyone's got a specific topic. Like I said, we usually go do an overview of the day's upcoming events, and we've just done that. So if there aren't any topics that somebody wants to bring up, then we will just wrap this up early. Welcome, Walter, by the way.
So I guess there's a couple of things I'd like to mention that I think we that we could do with either discussing more or working more on or encouraging more people to work on, and one of those is to do with porting. We've made a new porting guide, and we've seen a few people port to a few devices. There haven't been a tremendous number of devices that have seen new ports, and I don't know why that is. I don't know if it's just too hard or people aren't motivated to do it, and I'd be interested to know what that is. Maybe people were burned by the last time they did a port and we changed everything underneath them, and they can't now port Ubuntu to their devices because they feel like we're going to change everything underneath them again. And I don't know. I'm just speculating. I don't know what those reasons are, but I would love for us to, stoke that porting fire at some point, either during UOS or, as a set of things we need to do afterwards to, re-promote that. Find out why more people aren't doing it, and find out how we can fix those problems if there are problems.
So there is a session specifically for phone porting. I'll just paste that into the IRC. So if you want to have more discussion on that, I don't know if that conflicts with something else that you have on your schedule.
When's that? Thursday, 3 to 4. I'll have a look.
So I know you've been following the OnePlus porting that's been going on. Do you have any insight into what Alan's questions are about why people might not be creating as many ports as we wanted to see?
I do not know. I don't follow that discussion.
Okay.
No, I can't attend that. There's a clash with something else. That's okay. I'll catch up with it afterwards. All
right, so on the agenda here is getting more people to apply for membership. That is, that's an important topic. That's one that's come up quite a bit. We have room on the schedule to create a session for that? Because that sounds like we could fill a full hour of that.
We can. We still have one slot open for the community track today.
Yeah, 1900. I could attend that. Alan, can you attend that one?
I'm just looking now. Yes.
All right. I'll pick a work item to make that session.
That was easy.
All right. Make a schedule and invite more teams to the community Q&A for a quick interview. Do we have a schedule, Alan? Or have we just been kind of winging that on a weekly basis?
What schedule for the Q&A?
No, we could have on as a guest.
No, we don't. We kind of scrabble around looking for people, and we haven't. We ask people to suggest to us people they would want us to speak to, and sometimes we ask those people, and they're camera shy or busy or at a sprint or whatever. It would be nice if we had some system for people to send suggestions to us. I don't know what the easiest way of doing that is. I mean, I know there's the informal, find us on IRC and ping us, but I think the the Ubuntu Engineering podcast might. No, that's something else entirely. Forget
it's really more for updates.
Yeah, there won't be interviews on that. So yeah, I think we should have. The easiest thing to do is for us to send a mail to the community team mailing list, the public community team mailing list, and just ask people, who do you want us to interview? And we could also post a link to that thread elsewhere, so people who aren't on that mailing list can see it and know how to get in touch with us. We could share that on social media, so those people who aren't on the mailing list could, could contribute and just ask people, give us suggestions. Who do you want us to talk to? Or, maybe less who do you want us to talk to and more what do you want us to talk about? Is there any particular subject you want us to talk about? Because, picking on individuals is sometimes tricky because some people just don't like, being put, in the frame like that. It should be because it's part of everyone's job at Canonical, really. But it would be better if we said, tell us more about Unity 8, or talk to someone about Mir, or talk to someone about this or that, and then we'll go and find the right person. I think probably.
Yeah, I think the mailing list is a good idea. We'll just have to stay on top of that. Like once a month or so, we'll probably have to remind people that they can send requests there.
Well, we can send an automated monthly email to that mailing list that's just 3 lines long. This is your monthly reminder. Feel free to send us. Let us know if there's anyone you'd like us to talk to.
We should make it part of the end of every Q&A also when we go and tell people to follow us on Twitter and YouTube. Tell them to go send suggestions or interview requests or whatnot to the mailing list.
Yep. I agree. So do you want to give me a work item and I'll send a mail?
To kick that off.
I'll do that.
All right, and we've already got the membership session set up. Thank you, Svetlana.
No problem.
Is that at 7 UTC?
It's at 1900 UTC, so 7 p.m. UTC, yes.
I can't do that.
If I do that math right.
Yes. Sorry, I thought it was 7 UK time, but it's 7 UTC, which is 8. So I can't do that. I wonder if there's anyone from the membership boards that we can get on there. I can put some notes in there. Oh, excellent. I'll put some notes in there as well.
Yeah, I'm going to make a call to the auto members to see if we can get some who can join us for that session.
That's a good idea.
I can make it there too.
Yay! Excellent.
Walter, are you on a bicycle?
Yes, I'm on my way to work.
I don't think we've ever had that at a UDS.
No. We've had people in a car before, but this is the first bicycle cam we've had.
Wow.
Leave it to me.
Yeah, man, this could
Yeah, we just might have to mute you, that's all.
All right, well, I'm going to turn the cam and sound off and continue listening.
All right, did we have any other topics that anyone wanted? Anybody who's on IRC have topic ideas or requests? Ian is asking, are teams getting enough volunteers? Do those volunteers have the right skills? I'm not sure what teams he's talking about. I think it's probably going to depend a lot on which teams. I know we've got some that are constantly in need of new people with new skills. Like the docs team is always in need of new people. Testing's always in need of new people. I think both of those, though, they do a good job of training people who do come in with an interest with the skills that they need to participate. All right, so non-specific teams. I don't think any team would say no to more volunteers. I don't know how many are hurting for volunteers. I know the docs team could use more. And we've got a session later on Unity 8 docs where I hope to try and come up with some ideas to improve that. I don't know, what do you guys think of this?
Sorry, I was just typing on the membership pad. Yeah, I think in general, many of our teams, are always crying out for people. There are certain teams that are, just seem to work really well. Like, for example, I know Rick mentioned translations. You can send a mail to the translations list, and overnight, magically, loads of words get translated into other languages. But like you say, there are other teams where they seem to be constantly calling for more people, like QA. Like I know Nick is always looking for people to write tests, autopilot tests, and fix broken autopilot tests. So I think we've got that thing on the community website, which is the kind of, I would like to contribute. How do I find something to contribute to? But I don't think we have the other way round, which is we're a team and we need contributors. And I know in the past we've had conversations on the mailing list where we've talked about jobs in Ubuntu, and I think we need to use a completely different word from job, but something like that. We need to be able to have something where you can post things specific things that you need as an Ubuntu team, and other people can go and find that list of things. So it's the kind of reverse of the find me something to contribute to. Find me people who can contribute to my thing.
Find a volunteer instead of find a task?
Yeah, well, yes, exactly. And you could have two buttons. One button that says I'm an existing Ubuntu contributor and I need help with my docs or whatever, and fill in the 3-line tweet size elevator pitch of what you want help with, and that goes into the stack with all the others. And the other button is I need to find something to contribute to, and here's a list of things that you could contribute to, and here are the contacts.
Yeah. Find a task, though, is kind of by necessity general in what it describes.
Right. I'm not knocking find a task, and I agree it has a great use.
But we would want something that's more specific. So instead of saying I need somebody who can write tests, it would be I need somebody who can write a test case for this feature on this app.
Right. So someone like my wife goes away for the weekend. I've got a weekend to myself. I'm bored. I want to do something productive with my weekend. What can I do this weekend? Not what can I do which will prepare me for doing something in a month's time. What can I actually do right now? What outstanding things could I actively participate in and make Ubuntu better?
Right. And that sounds like it's going to need its own website.
Well,
I don't think we can build that on top of the JavaScript that we use for find a task.
I don't know if what the technical solution to it is. I know the pragmatic thing is a list of things that need doing. Yeah. How that's implemented technically, I neither know nor care. but it needs to be something that something that can allow people to self-service.
The other thing that I would say about Find a Task is that it seems to be more really like Find a Role. It's where can I find my location in the community, or where can I find the thing that I'm going to continue to contribute to, rather than, like we've just been talking about, something more like, what is the one thing that I can do right now, which seems to be a very different thing.
Yeah, I agree.
And we can combine the two, but like I said, it's going to require developing a new website for that, because I don't think we can just reuse a wiki or a Google Doc or something and have that work effectively.
Yeah, something easy to use. I mean, it needs to go on the list of things for us to research and figure out how much work there is to do, and and whether this is a thing that needs to be done. Are there people around the Ubuntu community actively working on Ubuntu who need help? Are there we're speculating. We believe, based on conversations we've had, that the doc team need help. We believe, based on conversations, that Nick needs help with autopilot tests. If we had some concrete examples, it may well be that we set this whole thing up and they all come to us and say, well, there's no tasks that I could give someone right now because they need to ramp up their skills in autopilot or Python or DocBook or
Yeah, I think the bigger problem is going to be that hurdle of getting it into whatever system we provide. So if it takes you 5 minutes to add a task to the system, but it would only take you 2 minutes to actually complete the task yourself, people aren't going to do it. And I think that might be the harder problem. If you say, we need documentation on the specific feature for this specific app, well, by the time you describe what you want, you could have just written it yourself, most likely.
Well, this is why I specifically said tweet size, elevator pitch, so that you're not spending too long, doing. You don't want to be writing a job description, and similarly, the person who's volunteering doesn't want to have to write their CV.
Right.
You want to have, like, in the same way that I might tweet, looking for someone to test the music app. That is pretty obvious what that means to me. And contact me for details. And if I get 2 or 3 people contact me and one of them says, "Oh, I haven't got a phone," well, I can point them to how to run it on the desktop. So there's there is the possibility that you get inundated with a bunch of people who actually can't help you. So
what about a mailing list, like a random task, mailing list that everybody can sign up for and post to? It would seem like that would be an appropriate place to have something very bite-sized.
Yeah, I think a mailing list is, the problem with that is you're preaching to the converted. You're preaching to the people who are already on the list. You want to pull people in. I think you want to pull people in who are not on that list. Maybe, like, so for example, recently we had a problem with the geo IP lookup feature in the weather app, and there was a guy who's kind of in the community, who's not an active contributor to Ubuntu, who just sent us a mail and said, "Hey, yeah, I can do that." We didn't approach him. He came to us and said, "I can fix that." He fixed it and then went away. It was like a drive-by. It was quite a long drive-by. It was like a month's worth of contributions, but it was a long, slow drive. But it was a drive-by contribution.
And one of the nice things about Find a Task is when somebody says, "I want to contribute to Ubuntu, what can I do?" we can just say, "Here's a URL, click on a couple of buttons, and it'll tell you a good place for you to get started."
Right. The Find a Task could have an option that says, I'm bored right now. I want something right now.
Right. And yeah, it could get to, once we decide, okay, you're ideally suited for testing stuff. Then if we had a back end where everybody said, okay, these are the specific things I need tested, we can say, okay, here's a list of stuff that matches this, that people are asking to be done.
And that kind of leads back to my observation that truly the right way to drag people in is to engage them at some other level that's not necessarily asking them to contribute. Like I often try to, handle people's support requests on IRC and then start talking to them about the community and how they can contribute and kind of demystify the whole thing for them. And that, of course, is not something we can automate.
Yeah. So it seems we're talking about several different audiences. You've got the people who are using Ubuntu but not necessarily interested yet in becoming a contributor to Ubuntu. You've got the people who are interested in becoming a contributor but don't know where to contribute. And then you've got the people, like Alan, who are long-term contributors, know the different areas they contribute to, and they just want a quick, here's a specific task I can work on for the next couple hours. And we've got some of that. So the second one, the I want to contribute but I don't know where, find a task, kind of helps with that. The I need something specific to work on, we had Harvest, which would at least give you bite-sized bugs that you can work on. I wonder if... Svetlana, do you know the current status of Harvest?
We're just working on like 2 bugs, and I haven't reached out to the 2 who are working on the bug, so I don't know, but I will check soon.
Do you think it would be worthwhile building what we're talking about on top of Harvest?
Yeah, I think it would be worthwhile to build the idea on Harvest, and maybe it could pull more people to get involved with a Harvest also.
How many active developers does it have right now?
I think only 2 right now, counting me as, just the lead and maybe doing some documentation. So there's 3.
I think that would be the best way to go if they're interested in building this extended functionality into Harvest. That way we're not building a brand new system just for this.
I haven't had
interested in this, Svetlana?
Yeah.
If we can work on a spec together?
You can.
What were you going to say, Walter?
To say, does Harvest really need anything more? I mean, I've only looked at it a couple times, but it seems to me like an appropriate place for that third type of person that you were talking about, like somebody that was looking for, something that they could just, deal with right away and already has experience within the community.
It's good for bugs right now. It's not necessarily good for, like Alan's example, I want to have somebody test my app, the latest version of my app.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it kind of smacks you in the face with bugs when you click on the find opportunities. It probably is better suited to developers than QA person or something like that. Although, arguably, I could find a bug that says the music app needs testing, and that could be shown in Harvest somehow. I don't actually know how stuff appears in Harvest. Is there just a tag or something?
Yeah, I think you just tag it bite-sized.
Okay. So yeah, that's possible. We could file bugs for things that need doing, tasks that need doing.
Yeah, and then the lines of triage statuses start getting blurred when you start making bug reports for things that aren't necessarily bugs.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think first step is seeing if the Harvest developers are actually interested in doing this or not.
Okay, I will check with them, and also Ubuntu Women to see what they can say too, since it's kind of Ubuntu Women's project.
Right. And if there is interest from them in doing this, then we can work out the details of how that would all work.
Okay.
And I'd be happy to help out too if you need anything else.
All right. Any other topics?
I didn't have any. Are there any on IRC?
I just asked. We'll give everybody a minute to see. Nope, it appears not. We all get a slightly longer break before the next set of sessions start.
Awesome.
All right. Thanks, Walter. Thanks, Svetlana. Thanks, Alan. And
Thank you.
Ian on IRC.
Thank you,
Thanks.
everyone.
See you later.
See ya.
See ya.
Bye.